just thought of something. The origin of the Vultures, or at least Ennis and Mel.
Okay.
What if Martha was the one that set the fire at the farm?
Fire.
That is your missing fucking piece.
Nah, I think you're giving them too much credit, and I think you're reaching.
Maybe.
I just think that they're trying way too hard.
But what would you think? What would you think if she did that? If she was the one that did that? That is a huge piece that links both seasons together.
Both seasons or both parts?
Or both halves of the season. Sorry.
And that right there tells you right there my points. It's like, it just is so disconnected.
But what if that does it? What if that completes the circuit?
I don't think that's what it is. Because when they were explaining the story of what happened to the farm, I think it was Mel who was talking to Madison. And basically Madison tried to kind of try to answer, kind of finish his story for him and whatever. And he was sort of like, no, that's not how it happened. This is what happened. And hey, we had to do what we had to do. You know, like just something along those lines or whatever. Well,
I think what he said was that he got them to stay instead of going when the fire started. And he, you know, which is why she tries to tell Madison, it's not good to stay. This is what I learned from trying to stay and trying to stand our ground. But by the way, it's interesting that you and I had both thought that one of them started the fire, but they never revealed that either of them did that, by the way. But we were left with this, I'm pretty sure that one of them did it. You know, it's got to be, they're that evil. And that's kind of like why we were left with the impression that, like, wait, the Vultures, I guess they weren't that bad in a way. I mean, by the end of it, you know, with the oily walkers forcing their hand.
They were still, you know, they were actually more interesting. I don't know. I mean,
because they weren't all out evil, right?
No, they basically were just scavengers, really. You know,
right.
And they learned how to weaponize walkers in order to basically, you know, take over what they wanted to take over without really getting their hands dirty.
Well, like the exact opposite of take what you need, leave what you don't.
Right.
They took everything, even what they didn't need.
And to be honest,
that's something I wanted to bring up too.
And to be honest, if this woman Martha had started the fire if they all of a sudden said like, oh, and she started the fire at that farm or whatever, it would make no difference in my mind. It would be sort of like, okay, more crazy psycho behavior for no reason. All right.
It's the way, I think it's I mean, obviously, look, it's not enough to just say that she did it. I mean, it would link these two halves of the season together. It would be. But I think it's the way in which it all unfurls. That really would be like tremendous because, again, uniting both halves of the season, the way that they do it is going to be pretty important. It's got to be in a way, kind of like what you want, that further defines why she goes down this path.
And she's the new nemesis for here on out.
I mean, it basically means that she's been the nemesis throughout the entire season, in a sense. She started the fire, like Billy Joel, which caused the Vultures to come, which ended Madison. So, by the way, it's not just to define her character. Just the mere idea of her starting the fire at Mel and Ennis's farm, their family farm, means that she's the reason why Madison is gone, by the way. The root cause. And so this will really test everybody's mettle. Do you know what I mean? It really will, it'll test Charlie because, you know, Mel and Ennis end up dying by both Alicia and Nick. The stadium goes down, so Madison's out. Nick eventually is out because Ennis kills him. Everything that happens this season is a direct result